Now let's talk about some more what if questions. What if you can't afford to buy data? You need an immediate ROI. Well, then you probably aren't at a stage in your business that's ready for this. That, or you're coming into it with the wrong mindset. It just doesn't work that way. The first month, whether you're doing my method or somebody else's method, you never get around this. Whether you have even if you go and hire the best agency in the world, he's going to go and do the same exact process. This is just what good media buyers do. The first month you're testing everything because you don't know. You don't even know if your persona is perfect. So, if you need an immediate ROI, I don't even know what you'd have to do that. But that's just not what's going to happen with media buying. What you can do to try and lessen the impact or reduce your risk is make sure your targeting is really, really tight. Make sure you've really done a lot of campaign planning. The more market research and campaign planning you do, the less amount of risk you're going to have when you start actually spending the money. So if you are, you really need that immediate ROI, you're really concerned about making your money back, then do more research. The better you do at media planning, the better you'll do at media buying, if that makes sense. Plan, and then when you go to do the buy, it's going to be much less risk. What if none of your ad placements are winners? If none of your ad placements are winners, I'd go back to your media plan because something went wrong. It just doesn't happen. I've been doing this for a long, long time, thousands of campaigns, and whenever everything was a loser, I got things wrong. It was, bad product, wrong customer. It's happened to me. Out of 5,000 plus campaigns, I think it's happened to me twice. It's very rare, and it's a clear sign that you just didn't do enough research. So go back to the media planning phase and start there. What if you're getting very little impressions? This happens a lot. Sometimes, listen, just like your computer software crashes, ad networks crash. Sometimes you upload a campaign and not all of it got uploaded, or there was a glitch in the software. So first thing I do, if I'm getting very little impressions, it sucks, but this is the world we live in with software. It's not perfect. Neither are our cars either, right? Our cars break down. So if I'm not getting any impressions, or I'm getting very little impressions, first thing I do is I'll blame it on a glitch, and I'll just recreate the whole campaign, making sure that my internet's working real good. I don't have a lot of things running on my computer. There's not 87 tabs open and 5 different softwares, and I'm using Wi-Fi out on my back patio. Make sure your computer is running very well, your internet connection is very stable, and then rebuild the campaign. It should pick up. If it doesn't pick up, then what's happening is a lot of these ad networks now have, they call it artificial intelligence, but it's just machine learning. They have these algorithms, and basically what's happening is it's tested your ads, and they had too small of a CTR. Your CTR was too low, or your targeting was too broad. So it's confused. The ad network doesn't really know what you want it to do and doesn't see a route to win, so it doesn't want to spend your money. The ad network doesn't want to spend your money if it doesn't think it can do well for you. And so you might have to go back to your media planning and see, okay, maybe how can I make my ad more clicky? What can I do to increase relevance? Can I make the contrast better? Could I choose a more relevant picture? Does my image need to be simpler? If you're getting very little impressions, it's either a glitch and you need to redo the campaign, or the software is confused because your ads just aren't getting a high enough click-through rate, and again, you need to go back to your media planning and redo your ads. What if you can't get your CPA down any farther? Let's say you've done all the things in this course, and you've gotten your CPA down to X amount. Maybe it's profitable. If it's profitable, first thing, Like, you should be working on your earnings and scale, not really worrying about how to get your CPA lower. Like, once you're profitable, once you have some ROI, you then need to scale that ROI. Yeah, you don't need to try and create more ROI. You need to try and create more revenue once you have some ROI. It's a rookie mistake to try and go from 200% ROI to 900% ROI. Instead, you want to have 200% ROI and go from, 50 sales a day to 5,000 sales a day. You want to have more volume. If your CPA is not profitable and you need to get it up a little bit more, well, again, there's really just, what I'm getting at is there's really only so much you can do in the ad network to bring your CPA down. You can only get your click costs so low. You can only target your audience so much. And at that point, you just can't do anything left in the ad network to drop your costs. You then have to work on your earnings. And it's the earnings where you really win. You don't win at being an entrepreneur by spending the least. If that was the case, just spend nothing and you would win. You win by earnings. It's earnings that allow us to buy the Ferraris and stay at the nice hotels and the yachts and all the other things that we aspire to have as entrepreneurs, if that's what you aspire to. You get those things through increasing your revenue and earnings. So I believe people should be spending 80% of their time on their funnel and their back end, increasing how much they're earning per sale, per customer, per click, and 20% managing your costs, because you don't want to be negligent on your costs. You don't want to be ignorant about it, but there's really only so much you can do. What are you going to go from 8 cents a click to 7 cents a click, or from 20 cents a click to 16 cents a click? It's not going to get you the big jumps that you're looking for. So if you can't get your CPA down any farther, don't worry about it. Work on getting your AOV, your average order value, up higher. Work on your LTV, your lifetime customer value. What if you never get any conversions? Well, that kind of goes back to none of my ads or placements are winners. If you never get any conversions, first thing, check your tracking. Check the ad network tracking. Oftentimes there's a glitch. Sometimes it's one tracking code is messing with another tracking code, or there was like a comma missing. Like, first thing I do is check my tracking codes, because that's often the problem. If your tracking codes are correct and you're still not getting any conversions, then you need to check your media. Is your customer persona correct? Ask some other people in the market. You can use clarity.com to call a lot of different experts out there. You can email us and we can help you. We also have a Slack group where you can get critiques on your ad campaigns, and we can look over things for you. If you don't get any conversions, it's either something in your media plan went wrong or your offer isn't good. And I gotta tell you, 90% of the time somebody comes into our Slack group and says, hey, what's going on with my such and such ad campaign? It's not working for me. We look at the sales process and there's just all kinds of disconnects. They forgot to use social proof in their campaigns, or their price was too low or sometimes too high. So if you're not getting any conversions, it's either a tracking error, a media planning error, or your offer is just not good. And a lot of people quit, but I don't. Quitting doesn't get you the result you want. Quitting is not going to get you whatever your goal is, whether it's a Ferrari or a beach vacation or whatever. Quitting is not going to get you there. So quitting is not an option in my book. You just have to keep trying. So step 1, check your tracking codes. Step 2, go back to your media plan. Step 3, get some advice on your funnel and just keep working at it. Every campaign that I've just stuck with over 90 days or 6 months and just kept working at it to get it working has become profitable. Every time I've just quit, it's not become profitable. As my mentor told me many years ago, profits are made, they're not generating, like you don't just like start up a campaign and hey, you get the profit because you built a funnel and started an ad campaign. No, you have to kind of like work your way into it. There's a lot of testing and tweaking that goes into getting to that profit, and that's kind of the barrier to entry. Because I mean, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. But the barrier to success is doing the work of checking your tracking codes, verifying your media plan, getting some consulting on your funnel if it's not working. Those are the things that you got to do. Now let's talk about some recommended tools.